All right, welcome one and all to the Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I'm your host tonight, John, or this morning, I guess, really, when you see this. If you could, though, hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to us. Hit the notifications and also leave some comments. Seems like we have some sassy people out there. Some people want to get going. God bless them, right? All right, busy day in the world of sports on Tuesday, like I've said before. This is one of the glorious times for sports in the year. We got the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs, baseball starting to roll. Love it. Hey, John, you forgot about the United Football League. No, I didn't. I wonder about that. Maybe I'll talk to Brother Scott about that today. The NFL is the most valuable property in the world. Why doesn't 10 billionaires get together and start a fall football league? It's not going to work in spring. They just don't have the stomach for the ratings to go be that bad for 2 or 3 years. They just don't. They always say they do, but they don't. They can't compete with the playoffs of hockey and basketball and golf starting to get going. They just don't have the stomach. I wonder why they just don't go to the fall. Because then it's all them. You can get the NFL to buy you out. Because the NFL don't want competition. That's for damn sure. All right. Let's start out in the NHL. Hurricanes beat the Devils 3-1. Amazingly competitive game, but the Hurricanes come out on top, take a 2-0 lead. The Devils just aren't the same without Jack Hughes. I mean, they're very good. They're very good defense, but Carolina's just a little better. And it's like Scott and I have talked about, you have to have somebody who can score goals. Unfortunately, without Hughes, the Devils can't. Sorry, that's the end of that. Maple Leafs came out of overtime with a 3-2 winner over the Senators. I'm telling you, the Senators are very competitive in this series. The Maple Leafs have done everything they could to choke, but they did come out on top. Very, very impressive. Tavares had a goal and an assist tonight. The Panthers smashed the Lightning 6-2. We got a goal. We got 2 goals out of Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk is back. And I don't understand how in a lot of these series, we've already had 2 games, and this was the first game in that series. Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, at the end of the day, why do you got to play the other teams every other day? If that's the scene, have Dallas and Colorado have 2 days between. And then put in Florida and Tampa Bay. I just don't understand the scheduling there. In the upset of the night, we had the Minnesota Wild 5-2 over the Golden Knights in Vegas. Impressive victory. They kind of had that game just from the get-go. They hadn't beaten Vegas all year. Well, they can't say that anymore, right? Let's head over to the association. And in the most chippy series I've seen in a while, the Pacers beat the Bucks 123-115. Dame Lillard came back finally after a month off because of blood issues. And, Giannis, magnificent as always, 34, 18, and 7. I mean, everybody is talking about Shea. They're talking about Jokic, and they should. But Giannis, I mean, this guy is subhuman. Only when you compare him to Jokic does he actually seem like he's a normal guy. Against anybody else, this guy does what he wants. The guy is very, very vastly underrated. I'm glad he got a title. I have a funny feeling after this year he's going to ask out of Milwaukee. This is a done deal here. Halliburton basically alluded to how chippy this series is, how much they don't like each other. You usually don't hear that kind of stuff coming out in the league. They go at each other for 48 minutes, and then afterwards they're going to the same clubs. No, I don't think that's what's happening here. I can tell you that right now. Thunder smacked down the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis got it within 9, and then the Thunder just put their foot back on the accelerator. I am really looking for a team out there that's going to be competitive with them. And the Lakers got things righted, 94-85 over the Timberwolves to even that series of 1 apiece. Luka, his usual great self, 31, 12, and 9. And that Nico Harrison interview the other day where I didn't realize how much the fans liked him. Really, man? Just shut your mouth. Really? You're an idiot, and then you're a bigger idiot. I mean, I don't know how they don't fire him. Patrick Dumont, the governor, signed off on this. He's not going to take the fall. He is not taking the fall. They're going to wrap it around Nico, and he is literally going to be like a mob hit. They're going to put concrete on him and sink him to the bottom of the lake, never to be seen again. Straight up. This guy is just an idiot. Literally the worst trade I've seen since Babe Ruth. And I wasn't around, even though it looks like I probably was. All right, let's go back to the MLB. Guardians, 14-9, got a 3-2 win over the Yankees. Interesting. Marlins finally got a win, beat the Reds. I'm telling you, the Reds, they're 11-13. But man, they're so good. I don't know what they're missing. They're just so competitive every series. Maybe they're that team that's really good, but ends up 70-92 because they just lose 31 one-run games, They lost another one tonight. Padres beat the Tigers 2-0. Man, that NL West is really, really good. Tigers are 14-10, though. Nationals beat the Orioles. God. In the battle of the D.C., Maryland area. I don't know what's going on with the Orioles. I know it's early, and I defer to my brother Brian when he said, hey, man, if this stuff happened in the middle of the year, nobody noticed. And he's right. He is. But it just seems like, man, you should have got a pitcher. You should have done something, the Orioles, because this is the kind of losing streak you need to stop. Red Sox seem to be on a roll, won 4 out of 5. Beat the Mariners 8-3. Brian Bello, hello. Thank you. Thank you for that 5 solid innings, 1-run ball. Thank you. I wish Brian was on today so I could talk to him about Brian Bello. He's not a big fan. And he knows a lot more than I do. So when I actually have one on him, I gotta take my shot. I don't get many of them. I can tell you with that guy. Him and Scott are just too goddamn smart. I'll just tell you that. Cardinals beat the Braves. Braves, that we've heard this over and over again. 10-4. Braves are 9-14. They're actually 7-3 at home. Wow. 2-11 on the road. Hey, how you doing? Don't pack the suitcase, you're in trouble. Why even go on the road when you're that bad? Twins beat the White Sox 4-2. White Sox are starting to find their rhythm. They're 5-18. I was the guy who said they were going to get 60 wins. Looks like I'm the idiot again. Well, you're used to that if you listen to this podcast. The Royals beat the Rockies 4-3. Once again, there's another 4-18 team. How you doing, Rockies? Good luck there. In the game of the night, the Cubs won in extra innings over the Dodgers. Kyle Tucker was just great. He was fantastic. Dodgers gave up a home run in the ninth to tie it, lost in extra innings. Hey, the Dodgers are still 16-8, which basically puts them on about 108 win pace. They are just, for some reason, they're amazing at home, but man, on the road, they got a problem. And I mean, they got a problem. I just don't understand why the Cubs didn't sign Kyle Tucker. Oh my God, that price is going up every effing week. The Astros beat the Blue Jays 5-1. Astros finally got on top of 500. They're 12-11. Blue Jays are 12-12. The Angels lost a close one to the Pirates, 9-3. That's close for the Angels. I got to say, I watched the game though. They're competitive. They're playing some good baseball for them. Diamondbacks beat the Rays 5-1. The NL West keeps rolling. And finally, in the nightcap, in the place they should not be playing baseball, the Rangers won at Sacramento, whatever we're calling it. The Athletics 8-5. Rangers 14-9, 4-6 away. Athletics are 2-8 at home. So if you're betting, put that into your little computation. All right, if you could, hit the like and subscribe button, leave some comments. I try to respond to them all. And hit the notifications. And I will see you soon.